You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You've been told that manifesting your dream life is complicated, that it takes years of meditation, relentless positivity, and perfect vibes. But what if I told you it's none of that? What if the law of attraction isn't magic at all, but mechanics? And what if you're already using it, but backwards? In the next few minutes, you'll discover why your manifestations haven't been working, despite doing everything right. And more importantly, you'll learn the one shift that will start pulling in what you desire immediately. So don't just watch, listen, because this isn't just a video. This is the moment your reality starts changing. Part 1. The Great Misunderstanding. Why most people fail at manifesting and don't even know it. You've done the affirmations. You've built the vision board. You've repeated the mantras. You've visualized until you saw the image in your sleep. And still, nothing. No windfall, no soulmate, no great transformation. The truth? You're not alone. Millions of people walk through life believing they're manifesting, but wondering silently why nothing's really changing. Why do they still feel stuck? Why does life still feel like an uphill battle, with no finish line in sight? Let's start with the uncomfortable answer. Most people fail at manifestation because they've misunderstood the game, and you might be playing it backwards without even realizing it. Section 1. The surface-level lie we've all been sold. Modern manifestation advice has become a factory of quick fixes. Just think positive. Say it and the universe will hear you. Speak it into existence. Keep your vibration high. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Optimistic, empowering, inspiring. And it can work, but only to a point. Because what you've been told is only part of the story, the tip of the iceberg. The rest, it's invisible, subconscious, emotional, and without that part, the tools are hollow. Here's why. You are not manifesting with your words. You are not manifesting with your vision board. You are not manifesting with your mind. You're manifesting with your identity, with the silent broadcast beneath your words, your emotional frequency. Section 2. Why saying it isn't the same as being it. Let's imagine this. You say, I want a loving relationship, but inside you feel unlovable. You fear being abandoned. You carry wounds from the past. That fear creates a signal, a vibration that broadcasts louder than your spoken words. Or maybe you say, I want financial abundance, but your inner world is tangled with stories like, money is hard to make. I don't deserve success. Rich people are greedy. And so even while you're affirming wealth, you're radiating lack, fear, guilt. This is where the breakdown happens. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Section 3. The quantum field responds to frequency, not language. Imagine you're tuning a radio. You want to hear music on 101.1 FM, but your dial is set to 94.7. It doesn't matter how badly you want 101.1. You'll never hear it unless you tune in. This is the quantum law of alignment. You can't attract what you aren't tuned to. The field of possibility, the quantum field, isn't sitting there checking your checklist of dreams. It's reacting to the signal you're sending. That signal is built from your beliefs, your emotions, your identity, your sense of worth. So even if you say all the right things, if you're not emotionally aligned with them, nothing moves. Section 4. Real-world example. Why nothing's changing. Let's say you've been affirming for months. I am successful, I am abundant, I am aligned. But every time you get a bill, your heart races. Every time someone mentions success, you feel jealousy or inadequacy. Every time you dream big, a voice whispers, you're not ready. This is the contradiction. And in this contradiction, your subconscious wins. Because the subconscious mind is stronger than the conscious one. It's like a hidden GPS always leading you. Not where you want to go, but where you believe you deserve to be. Section 5. The identity loop, why it keeps repeating. Here's where it gets deeper. Every thought you think becomes a groove, a neurological pathway, a habit, a pattern. And when repeated long enough, that pattern becomes belief, and belief becomes identity, and identity becomes your life. Let's break it down. Say, this always happens to me. Think it. Feel the frustration. Notice the pattern repeating. Believe it more. Reinforce it. That's how energy loops are formed. In your reality, it's simply mirroring that loop. Why do I keep dating the same kind of person? Why can't I get past this income level? Why do I sabotage when things go well? Because your internal identity hasn't changed. You're not manifesting what you want. You're manifesting what you believe. Section 6. The power of inner consistency. So if words aren't enough and thoughts aren't enough, what is? Inner consistency. When your words, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are aligned, that's when the universe moves. That's when doors open. Synchronicities happen. People call out of nowhere. Ideas strike like lightning. And it's not random. It's not luck. It's resonance. Because your energy field has finally stopped sending mixed signals. Section 7. Most people manifest by default, not design. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people aren't consciously creating. They're unconsciously repeating, living on autopilot, reacting the same way, telling the same stories, feeling the same emotions, and then wondering why life feels like Groundhog Day. You've been manifesting all along, just not intentionally. The good news? You can take the wheel back. Section 8. The misunderstood role of emotion. Let's zoom in on one final point, because this is everything. Emotion is the fuel. Thoughts give direction. Emotion gives power. You can think about success all day long, but if it's coated in fear or desperation, the universe receives that. Want to change your results? Don't just change your thoughts. Change the feeling behind the thought. That's what emotional alignment is. And when your desires finally match your emotional frequency, manifestation feels effortless, because it is. Section 9. Reframing the misunderstanding. So now let's reframe the whole thing. You were never broken. The law of attraction isn't flawed. You're not doing it wrong. You're just doing it incomplete. Manifestation is not about begging the universe for gifts. It's about becoming the version of you who already receives them. Not because you earned them, but because you're a vibrational match. That's the core misunderstanding. That's what no one taught you. Until now. Now that you understand the trap most people fall into, you're ready to go deeper. You're ready to discover what really runs your life. The emotional frequency that powers your subconscious. In the next chapter, we're going to expose the signal behind your thoughts, the frequency of emotion, and how it controls what shows up in your world. This is the turning point, and once you feel this shift, you'll never unsee it again. If this unlocks something for you, like the video, drop "I'm aligned" in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started. Part 2. Emotional frequency is the real secret thoughts guide. Emotions drive. You've been taught that your thoughts create your reality. But here's the deeper truth. It's not just your thoughts. It's the energy beneath them. Emotions are the undercurrent. They're the invisible language the universe actually listens to. Because while your thoughts set direction, your emotions are what press the accelerator. You may be thinking, but I've been thinking positively for years. Yes, but what have you felt while thinking those thoughts? That's where the real frequency lies. Section 1. The invisible broadcast you're always sending. Imagine walking into a room where someone just had a massive argument. They're gone. No one's yelling, but you feel something in the air. A heaviness, a charge, a residue. That's energy. That's emotion. And it lingers. Why? Because emotions are frequency signatures. We all emit them, consciously or unconsciously. And the universe, like a cosmic mirror, reflects back the dominant frequency you're broadcasting. Emotion is not noise, it's the signal. If you're broadcasting fear, you attract situations that validate it. If you're radiating peace, you attract more of what sustains that state. This is not philosophy, it's energetic physics. Section 2. Why your mind doesn't actually follow commands. Let's do a quick experiment. Right now, don't think of a pink elephant in a business suit. You just did, didn't you? That's how the mind works. It doesn't obey the command. It follows the emotional focus behind the thought. You can say, I don't want to be poor, But if the emotional frequency behind that thought is fear of poverty, you've actually tuned yourself to lack. You can say, I want to be loved. But if you feel unworthy, desperate, or alone, you're tuned to abandonment, not connection. The universe doesn't hear your intention, it hears your vibration. Section 3. Why affirmations fail without emotional alignment. Affirmations aren't magic. They're mirrors. And if what you say clashes with what you feel, the subconscious calls your bluff. Saying, I am wealthy, while secretly fearing bills doesn't create wealth. It creates cognitive dissonance. That's why affirmations don't work for many people. They're speaking one signal but radiating another. What you feel is always louder than what you say. So if you want affirmations to work, you must attach a new emotion to the new belief. Not just repetition, but repetition plus resonance. Section 4. How emotional energy becomes magnetic. Emotion is magnetic. Literally. Every time you charge a thought with emotion, especially strong emotion, it imprints on your energy field. Think of your thoughts like arrows. Emotion is the force behind the bowstring. No emotion, weak shot. Strong emotion, direct, powerful signal. Whether it's fear, shame, joy, or gratitude, your emotions determine what sticks in your field. The longer you hold that emotional state, the more you reinforce your vibrational identity. That identity becomes your point of attraction, and your point of attraction becomes your future. Section 5. The danger of emotionally charged negativity. This is why people often attract what they fear the most. If you're constantly worried about being cheated on, you're energetically calling in betrayal. If you're deeply afraid of failure, you subconsciously sabotage success. Why? Because what you emotionally energize, you tune into. The subconscious doesn't filter good or bad. It only knows repetition and intensity. So even fear, if repeated and charged, becomes your set point. Section 6. How the brain reinforces emotional frequency. Now let's get scientific for a moment. Your brain is neuroplastic. That means it's constantly rewiring based on your repeated experiences and emotional states. Every time you feel a strong emotion, especially negative ones, it reinforces a neural circuit. Feel anxious often enough, and your brain gets good at anxiety. Feel joyful often enough, and your brain wires for optimism. You literally become skilled at the emotion you practice most. So the real question is not, what am I thinking? But what emotions am I rehearsing every day? Because those rehearsals become reality. Section 7, changing your frequency, starts with emotional honesty. To change your emotional frequency, you must start with honesty. You can't override what you don't acknowledge. If you're afraid, name it. If you're hurt, feel it. If you're angry, honor it. Why? Because suppressed emotion doesn't disappear. It manifests, usually through unwanted patterns. When you deny what you feel, your frequency splits. You say one thing, feel another, and your energy becomes scattered. But when you own your truth, however raw, you come into alignment. And alignment is the first step to transformation. Section 8. The power of emotional anchoring. You don't have to wait for life to give you joy to feel joyful. That's the old model. React to external results. The quantum model says, create the internal state first, and the results follow. This is called emotional anchoring. You choose a desired emotion, gratitude, joy, peace, and practice feeling it now. Even if your life isn't perfect, even if your bank account says otherwise. Why? Because when your body learns how to feel joy now, you start attracting situations that match that state. You're no longer reacting to reality. You're creating it from the inside out. Section 9. Emotional frequency is your energetic currency. Money is currency. Attention is currency. But the most powerful currency in the universe is your emotional frequency. It's the energy you invest in every thought. It's the vibration you carry into every conversation. It's the signature you leave on every decision. This frequency tells the universe what you're available for. Feel worthy? You attract respect. Feel abundant? You attract opportunity. Feel love? You attract connection. And the best part? You can choose what you feel, Maybe not instantly, but with awareness, practice, and commitment, you can retune your entire life. Section 10. Daily practices to shift emotional frequency. Ready to take action? Here are 5 powerful tools to shift your emotional frequency daily. 1. Emotional check-ins. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Don't fix it. Just feel it fully. 2. Gratitude rewiring. Every morning, write 3 things you're grateful for and feel them. Don't make a list. Make a moment. 3. Anchoring with visualization. Spend 5 minutes feeling the emotion of your future, not just the image. Feel it as if it's done. 4. Breathwork or meditation. Quiet the mind. Calm the nervous system. Raise your vibration. Even 10 minutes can reset your field. 5. Emotional rehearsal. Choose one emotion to rehearse today. Joy, peace, love, confidence. Act as if it's your native state. Consistency is key. Frequency shifts don't happen through one magical session. They happen through emotional repetition. Now that you understand the secret role of emotional frequency, you're ready to dive deeper. Because even though you now feel the shift, there's still one powerful force shaping your reality behind the scenes: your subconscious mind. In part 3, we'll uncover how your subconscious beliefs create patterns, how to reprogram your identity, and how to stop manifesting on autopilot. But before we go there, take a breath. Comment, "My frequency is power below." And if this resonates, subscribe, because the transformation is just beginning. Part 3, the subconscious engine. Why your inner programming creates your outer reality. There's a silent architect shaping your life. It's invisible, it's powerful, and it doesn't care what you want. It only reflects what you believe. This force is your subconscious mind, and whether you realize it or not, it's scripting 95% of your daily experience. Your relationships, your money, your confidence, your habits, your failures, your wins. All of it runs through this hidden operating system. Section 1. The subconscious isn't just a concept, it's code. Most people treat the subconscious like an abstract idea, but in reality, it's structured like software. Your subconscious is the back-end system of your reality. You don't see it, but it dictates everything you see. Conscious mind equals the user interface. Subconscious mind equals the code that runs it. You may want a better job, a deeper relationship, a healthier life, but unless your subconscious believes it's safe, familiar, possible, you'll keep self-sabotaging, not because you're weak, but because your inner system is trying to protect you based on old programming. Section 2. Where that programming comes from. Your subconscious formed between the ages of 0 and 7. You were like a sponge, absorbing every word, action, and emotion around you. Your parents, your teachers, your culture, your environment. You weren't reasoning. You were receiving, and what you received became your core script. Love must be earned. Money is always a struggle. My voice doesn't matter. If I stand out, I'll get hurt. People always leave. These beliefs weren't chosen. They were inherited, imprinted, programmed, and they became the filters through which you experience life today. Section 3. The cycle of belief, emotion, behavior, result. Every action you take originates from a belief. Belief triggers emotion. Emotion drives behavior. Behavior creates results. Results reinforce belief. Let's say your subconscious holds this belief: I'm not worthy of love. That belief creates fear or insecurity. That emotion makes you avoid vulnerability or attract emotionally unavailable people. That behavior leads to failed relationships. The result? More proof you're unlovable. And the belief gets stronger. You're not cursed. You're caught in a feedback loop. Section 4. The problem with surface-level change. Here's why most self-help advice doesn't work. It focuses on the surface. Motivation goals. Action steps, new habits. But unless you rewire the belief driving the habit, you're painting over rust. You may try to eat healthy, But if your subconscious still believes food equals comfort, you'll relapse. You might set financial goals, but if you believe rich people are greedy, you'll unconsciously block abundance. Until the subconscious is included in your transformation, the change won't stick. Section 5. The subconscious doesn't listen to logic, it listens to emotion. You can't talk your way into a new belief. You must feel your way into it. The subconscious speaks in images, emotion, and repetition, not facts, not stats, not spreadsheets. That's why traumatic events rewire us so quickly. They're emotionally intense and deeply felt. But here's the good news. You can use that same mechanism for positive rewiring. By attaching elevated emotion to new beliefs, again and again, you begin to replace the old code. You don't argue with the subconscious. You show it as something better and feel it as real. Section 6. Your subconscious is always listening. Every time you say, "I'm so unlucky. This always happens to me. People never change. I can't handle this." Your subconscious takes it as a command. It doesn't argue. It doesn't filter. It doesn't ask, "Is this true?" It just says, "Got it. I'll create more of that." This is why language matters. Every word you repeat becomes a seed in the subconscious garden, and what you plant repeatedly grows roots. Section 7. Morning and night are the golden windows. There are two sacred windows where your subconscious is most programmable. First 30 minutes after waking. Last 30 minutes before sleep. In these moments, your brain is in alpha and theta waves, the same frequency as deep meditation. This is when the veil between conscious and subconscious is thin. So what you feed your mind during these moments matters more than anything you consume all day. Don't wake up to chaos. Don't fall asleep to fear. Instead, speak new truths. Visualize your future self. Anchor into feelings of peace, abundance, love. Replay affirmations you want your subconscious to absorb. These rituals aren't fluff. They're neurological programming sessions. Section 8. You can't outperform your identity. You will never rise above the identity your subconscious has accepted. It doesn't matter how big your goals are. If your subconscious identity is still, "I'm the underdog. I'm not good enough. I always mess things up," your reality will bend to match that blueprint. This is why people get promotions and then self-sabotage, win love and then push it away, start businesses and then unconsciously burn them down. Because success feels unsafe to their internal system. It's not sabotage, it's self-protection. But here's the shift. You're no longer the child who absorbed those limiting scripts. You can rewrite the story. You can change the code. You can upgrade the engine. Section 9. How to reprogram the subconscious. 3 key methods. Let's make this practical. Here are 3 proven ways to rewire your subconscious mind. 1. Repetition with feeling. Pick one core belief you want to install. Example, "I am worthy of success." Now repeat it daily with emotion. Say it, write it, visualize it. But more importantly, feel what it would be like if it were already true. The key isn't words, it's frequency. 2. Identity visualization. Instead of visualizing things, visualize yourself having already become the version of you who has those things. See yourself, confident, at peace. Wealthy, creative, loved. Step into that emotional state until it feels real. You're not pretending, you're practicing. 3. Interrupt. Plus, replace thought loops. Every time a limiting belief surfaces, "I always fail," pause. Don't let it loop automatically. Say, "That's not my truth anymore. Here's the new story," and replace it again and again until your subconscious accepts the new code. Section 10. The mirror effect. Your life is not a reflection of your potential. It's a reflection of your programming. Want different relationships? Change the beliefs you hold about love. Want more money? Change your inner story about wealth. Want confidence? Heal the parts of you that believed you didn't deserve to speak up. Because nothing out there can shift until what's in here is rewritten. You've seen how your subconscious creates your reality. Now in part 4, you'll discover how to interrupt unconscious reactivity. and step into conscious creation. Because it's not enough to just reprogram. You must also respond differently, moment to moment. That's when you stop living by default and start living by design. Comment "I rewrite my reality" below if this part lit something up in you. Subscribe if you're committed to creating from the inside out. Because the next part, it's where you stop reacting to life and start designing it. Part 4, the shift from reactive to creative. You're not a victim. You're a vibrational architect. Here's the harsh truth most people never realize. You're either reacting to reality or you're creating it. And most of us, we're not creating. We're unconsciously reacting to the noise of the world around us, the past, the opinions, the pressure, the notifications, the unresolved pain. We're living in reaction mode, a default setting of survival, control, and pattern repetition. But that's not who you are. That's who you became when you forgot your power. And this part, this is where we take it back. Section 1. The danger of reaction mode. Let's be clear, reacting is automatic. It's baked into your nervous system. Someone insults you, you snap, you fail, you spiral. Your plans shift, you panic. Your phone pings, you jump. Each time your external world triggers your internal world, and your frequency adjusts to match it. This is how most people live, on autopilot, in a constant state of energetic defense. They're not shaping life, they're managing it. But reaction mode isn't neutral. It has a cost. It trains your body to operate in fear, stress, comparison, scarcity, and whatever you practice, you reinforce. Section 2. The pattern of energetic inheritance. Reaction mode doesn't just come from daily stress. It's inherited. If your parents reacted with anxiety, you learn to internalize that. If they suppressed emotions, you learn to numb yours. If you were punished for speaking truth, you learn to shrink. So now as an adult, you're not just reacting to life. You're reacting through filters built in childhood. That's why sometimes your response doesn't match the event. Because you're not reacting to the moment. You're reacting to an emotional memory. To change your life, you must interrupt the inheritance. Section 3. The space between trigger and choice. In every moment, there's a space, a tiny invisible gap between what happens and how you respond. In that space lives your power. That space is called awareness. Reaction is instant. Awareness is a pause. And that pause changes everything. Here's how it looks. Someone says something hurtful. Old you reacts, defends, attacks. New you pauses, observes the trigger, chooses presence. You shift from being an emotional puppet to being a conscious creator. Because once you notice the pattern, you no longer have to become it. Section 4. The creator mindset. So what does it mean to be a creator? It means you don't just respond to life. You design it, not through control, but through conscious frequency. A creator wakes up and says, what vibration do I want to hold today? How do I want to feel before anything happens? What intention am I placing on this day, this moment, this interaction? Creation starts before reality shifts. It starts in the energy you choose to embody, because frequency is not just reactive, it's directive. You decide your energetic setting and the universe follows. Section 5. The mirror principle of reality. You've heard reality is a mirror, but let's go deeper. Life doesn't mirror what you say you want. It mirrors what you expect, believe, and emotionally rehearse. If you're constantly anticipating problems, your field attracts challenges. If you expect peace, you naturally diffuse chaos. If you expect betrayal, you unconsciously test or sabotage love. Here's the truth. The world isn't showing you itself. It's showing you you. When you shift your inner state, your external reflection changes, not by force, by law. Section 6. The breakthrough comes from meaning making. Every event in your life is neutral until you give it meaning, and the meaning you assign creates your frequency. Lost the job? That could mean I'm worthless, low vibration, or something better is aligning, higher frequency. Got ghosted? That could mean I'm unlovable, or I'm being redirected to real connection. The event is data. Your interpretation is the energy. And meaning isn't passive. It's a creative act. When you shift the meaning, you shift the emotion. When you shift the emotion, you shift the energy. And when you shift the energy, reality bends. Section 7. How to become response-oriented, not reaction-oriented. Let's break it down. To shift from reactive to creative, you must build emotional response awareness. Here's the method. 1. Pause before response. The moment you're triggered, stop. Take a breath. Even 3 seconds of stillness creates room for conscious choice. 2. Name the pattern. Say, I've felt this before. This feels like rejection, abandonment, fear. This is an old program running. Naming disarms the trigger. 3. Reframe the meaning. Ask, what else could this mean? Is this actually true right now? What is this trying to teach me? You begin authoring your emotional story. 4. Choose frequency over reaction. Decide, I choose peace over panic. I choose worthiness over self-doubt. I choose to stay in alignment. You hold your vibration, no matter the storm. Section 8. Response is a muscle. Train it. This won't happen overnight. You've spent years, maybe decades, reacting out of old programming. But every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you're rewiring the field. And like any muscle, the more you practice, the stronger it gets. Start small. Pause before responding to an email. Breathe before speaking in conflict. Choose calm when traffic hits. Choose gratitude instead of comparison. Each choice is a micro shift in identity, and micro shifts shape macro realities. Section 9. Embodying the creative state. To live as a creator is to lead with internal alignment, not external circumstance. You become calm even when it's chaotic, open even when it's uncertain, confident even when unvalidated, loving even when unreciprocated. Because your state is no longer for sale. This isn't bypassing reality. It's choosing to be the stable signal instead of a reactive echo. This is the path to sovereignty, to energetic authorship. Section 10. From passive manifestation to active creation. Let's connect the dots. In part 1, we exposed the misunderstanding. In part 2, we revealed the secret of emotional frequency. In part 3, we uncovered the subconscious engine. And now in part 4, you've reclaimed the steering wheel. You're no longer just hoping to manifest. You're actively creating from the inside out. Not by effort, but by embodied frequency. This is your pivot point, not a motivational high, a new default identity, the kind that doesn't wait for alignment, it chooses it. Now that you've shifted from reactive to creative, there's one final piece, the blueprint. In part 5, we'll explore the repeatable formula for energetic alignment. How to build a new identity, install it, and live it into reality. Daily, consistently, effortlessly. Because the future you desire, it's not a destination, it's a frequency, and it's already waiting for you. Comment, I respond, I don't react, to affirm this shift. Subscribe if you're ready to close the gap between who you are and who you came here to be. The next part is the embodiment, the integration, the arrival. Part 5, the new blueprint. You've come a long way. You've broken the illusion of wishful thinking. You've uncovered the power of emotional frequency. You've exposed the subconscious engine running your life. And most importantly, you've remembered your power to create, not just react. But awareness alone isn't the finish line. Awareness is ignition. Now we build the new identity, the new blueprint, the one that holds everything you desire. Not someday, now. Section 1. Your identity is your frequency. The world doesn't respond to your goals. It responds to your identity. Want to attract love? Become someone who expects it? Want wealth? Embody the version of you who already has it. Want peace? Stop outsourcing it to other people's behavior. Because here's the truth. You don't manifest what you think. You manifest what your nervous system accepts as normal. That's why change doesn't start with doing. It starts with being. being the version of you who doesn't chase, but attracts. Not through effort, but energetic congruence. Section 2. Design versus default. There are two kinds of identities. Default identity, installed by childhood, trauma, culture, repetition. Designed identity, chosen consciously, programmed deliberately, rehearsed consistently. The default identity will tell you, stay small. Don't rock the boat. You're not ready. The designed identity asks, what if I stop waiting? What if I already am that version of me? What would my life feel like if I stopped playing down? This is your blueprint moment. Right here, you get to choose who walks forward from this video. Not as a temporary version, but as your new energetic default. Section 3. You must install before you receive. Think about it like software. Before you use an app, you have to install it. You don't just want abundance. You have to install the identity that receives it. You don't just want love. You install the frequency of worthiness. You don't just want peace. You install the emotional baseline that protects it. Installation always comes before manifestation, and it begins with repetition, emotion, and imagery. 3 tools your subconscious recognizes as truth. You're not just repeating new words. You're assigning energetic permission. You're telling your field, this is now who I am. Section 4. Speak like it's already happening. The words you speak about yourself create your energetic map. So when you say, I hope it works out, I'm trying to manifest. I wish I could believe, you're signaling doubt, delay, disconnection. But when you say, I'm in alignment, what I want is already on the way. I feel it before I see it. You collapse time. You create resonance. You become magnetic. Your subconscious doesn't differentiate between real and imagined. It only knows repetition plus emotion equals identity. So speak not from where you are. Speak from where you're going. Because the more you speak from it, the more it becomes you. Section 5. Build your energetic routine. Here's where it becomes tangible. To live your new blueprint, you need an energetic practice. Not just mindset work, not just journaling, but a full-body rehearsal of the version of you you're becoming. Here's the blueprint framework. 1. Morning frequency setting, 5 to 10 minutes. As soon as you wake, decide how you will feel today. Before reaching for your phone, reach for your identity. Ask, what does my future self feel like when they wake up? Feel that. Anchor it. Let it lead. 2. Emotional checkpoints. Throughout the day, set 3 alarms labeled, what am I broadcasting right now? Each time they go off, pause. Breathe. Reset. You're not correcting yourself. You're calibrating. 3rd evening identity reinforcement, 10 minutes. Before sleep, visualize one moment from your dream life, already complete. Drop into the feeling. Let your nervous system believe it. Say, this is now normal for me. Sleep with that frequency. It trains your subconscious overnight. Section 6. Confronting the inner conflict. You'll hit resistance. Your old identity will whisper, this is fake. You're not really that person. Nothing's changing. That voice is the echo of old programming. Don't fight it. Don't fear it. Observe it and say, I'm safe to grow beyond you. I hear you, but I'm choosing something different now. Every time you choose the new blueprint over the old story, you shift from reaction to authorship. It's not instant, but every repetition becomes a new groove. And over time, your nervous system accepts the new version as real. Section 7. Your environment must reflect your identity. The subconscious is also shaped by environment. So to reinforce your blueprint, ask, does my space reflect who I'm becoming? Do my habits reflect that version of me? Do my relationships nourish or dim my energy? Do I speak to myself like someone I love? Because you can't embody a new identity while dragging the weight of the old one behind you. Creation requires alignment, and alignment requires letting go. Release the version of you who was addicted to doubt. You're not betraying your past. You're completing it. Section 8. Normalize the energy of expansion. Here's the final truth. Success is not a finish line. It's a frequency. And your job now is to normalize the energy of expansion, not by constantly chasing more, but by holding your vibration through uncertainty, growth, contrast. The universe rewards emotional steadiness because that's what proves you're ready. So don't just be aligned when it's easy. Stay aligned when it's messy, uncertain, quiet. That's when the shift solidifies. That's when the blueprint becomes bone deep. That's when you become undeniable. Section 9. You are the source, not the seeker. Stop searching for the thing. Start being the thing. You want love? Be so full of self-worth that love is a mirror, not a lifeline. You want abundance? Anchor into sufficiency now so money simply flows to match your belief. You want clarity? Be still long enough to hear the guidance already whispering to you. Because the most powerful creators don't chase, they align, they receive, they expect. You're not reaching anymore. You're remembering. Section 10. The blueprint in one sentence. Let's bring it home. Here's the entire blueprint distilled into one sentence. I choose to live, speak, feel, and respond as the version of me who already has what I desire, until the universe has no choice but to match it. Every thought, every word, every breath, every decision, align it. And that version of you, you're not becoming them. You're returning to them because they were never missing, just waiting. This is your moment, not to learn more, but to live differently. The quantum field doesn't reward those who wait. It mirrors those who act from alignment. This 5-part journey was never just about information. It was initiation, a new standard, a new setting, a new signal. From this moment forward, you don't react, you create. You don't beg, you align. You don't hope, you embody. You don't wait, you become. Comment, I live my new blueprint to claim it now. Subscribe for more tools, reminders, and activations. Share this series with someone else who's ready to live from power, not patterns, because this isn't just a video. This is the moment your entire frequency changed.